Hello everyone, my name is Freak and welcome to the video. Today I'm going to be reacting to your favourite Canadian YouTuber A's video, Showoff Showdown, Knuckles versus Terrafin. I have no idea who that is, but whew, yeah. So if you haven't seen this video, make sure you go in the description as well as into the video. As soon as I come back, watching you post it. So let me continue. Okay. Ooh, let me guess. This Terrafin is gonna be someone that's from Skylanders, I presume. Again. And Knuckles obviously is from the Sonic series. And okay, I'm gonna say this. I have absolutely no idea. Well, okay, I've got the general idea what Skylanders is. It's about these creatures that's in another dimension. They're in the sky, and it's got Spiral in it, and they've got to stop this guy called Chaos, and blah 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 blah. That sort of thing. And yeah, I've seen the Skylanders quite a few times before, and to be honest. Ooh, okay, there's probably going to be a few Skylander fans out there who's going to hate me for this, but I would like to see more variety than just, Skylanders, and, because, okay, don't get me wrong, I mean, Skylanders looks like a very interesting game. I mean, I wouldn't mind, like, giving it a go, but, I'd like to see, like, more than just Skylanders. I mean, maybe some horror versus, or maybe even some anime ones, or maybe some I don't know, maybe other cartoons, like, oh, what about Yogi Bear versus Snagglepuss? That'd be funny. But like I said, I mean, it's up to him what he does, and I'm happy to react to these videos when he makes, and I will give a Canadian YouTuber this. His explanation on how like characters would win, is absolutely superb. I love him. I love how he just narrates everything, and it's fantastic. But again, I mean, the only problem I have is just the variety. I mean it's just like it's like Rubies versus Skylanders, or Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles versus Skylanders. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, his videos are great. I just wish we had like more variety than just Skylanders. But again, that's my only nitpick on this. But yeah. So let's have a look. It's about half an hour long, which is pretty freaking long. But guess what? I got snacks. I got scones. I got myself some Mr. Kipling cakes, which are delicious. I highly recommend them. They're called oh, let's give me. So I'm gonna do this. Yeah. Mr. Kipling's good cakes. They are very delicious, and I highly recommend them. There's these ones. It's got like icing and like got jam inside of it. Delicious. It's got like a little bit of crumble on it as well. And then there's this Mr. Kipling's Bitterbergs, which is another favourite of mine. I mean, the coating with sugar on it and icing. Oh, it's delicious with a sponge inside of it. Absolutely delicious. And obviously, many of you may not know, well, scones. Very British. So yes, this is going to be about half an hour long, and as long as I'm going to be watching this, I might as well have myself a little snack. Got my water here too. So yes. If you want to go and check them out, I highly recommend them. They're very delicious. Probably some of the best cakes that there is. I mean, you can order them off of like Amazon or other places. I mean, I highly recommend them. They're very, very delicious. So yes, if you haven't seen this video, you know what to do. Go to Canadian YouTuber's channel. Look up this video and subscribe to him. He's a great YouTuber. I highly recommend him. So with all said and done, let's get to watching. Okay, that's it. I'm gonna start off with the Bakewell slice. So just gonna put this up there. Okay, so this is your favorite Canadian YouTuber A, Showoff Showdown, Knuckles versus Terrafin, and 3, 2, 1, and go.
Welcome to Showoff Showdown. In this series, the fighters are called Showoffs, And this is the series for the Showoff Showdown. Now let's meet the shows for tonight's showdown, shall we? Tonight we have a hardcore fisting-filled battle between
how does he do that? There's welcome to Showoff Showdown.
Powerhouses. That's right, Knuckles versus Terrafin. Once the rock-hard fists of fury have been unleashed, only one of them will walk out of the ring victorious.
By the way, keep in mind, I'm only going to be using Knuckles' cannon feats, which means no feats from the Archie comics nor Sonic Boom. Also, this will only be a one-on-one base form battle with no prep time, no outside help, and no outside sources. I put links to the analysis on both characters in the description below.
How does he do that?
Now without further ado, it's time for the Showoff 2 Showdown!
He's got like he's got like golden gauntlets, a Wolverine thing going on there. Oh, I said no. What's the?
You ready to fight, fish boy?
Oh, bring it on in, Brett! You're in for real!
Jabberjaw! You see, folks. This is what happens when you. Hey, look, it's Jaws meets Knuckles. Apparently, Jaws is trying to turn into a dolphin. He's only got the. You have to admit that.
You can't get me on the ground.
Oh yeah? We'll see about that!
So let's go next. Oh yes! Hey, do the shark star street sharks. It looks like a sock puppet. It's like, what is he doing? What are you doing? Dancing?
Still can't match my strength.
Oh yeah? Just watch me! I'ma beat your face so hard your mama won't recognize you! Competition's paying the price! I'm gonna knock you out! Mama said knock you out! I'm gonna knock you out! What are you laughing at? I'm gonna knock you out! Mama said knock you out! I'm gonna knock you out! Mama said knock you out! Thought you cool, this a regular jam! I'm gonna rock this man! I'm gonna take this city really well by storm! And I'll jack it war, just like my haunted Halloween!
Yeah, I'll be dancing like that too. What pronoun does he use anyway? Hey, mascot, you're not at the stadium.
Not as strong as you thought you were.
In your dreams, redhead!
Hey, look at it. It's Shark Boy and Lava Boy. Shark Boy and Volcano Boy. It's Batgirl. Man, these furries are really getting a hand. No, Batgirl with big tits.
A few moments later.
Okay, somebody horny has made that program. Look at that ass.
Excellent. No. Surprise.
Pedophilia! Who is that guy? That is one lucky shark. No. You're supposed to put them on your hand, which you don't have. And Jaws wins. How does he do that anyways?
Oh no!
Oh no! Oh yeah!
What? Impossible!
Oh yeah! Prepare to feel the thunder! Cause it's fitting time!
9, 10.
Well, I might have lost, but at least it was a good game. Put her there.
Not so tough, are you?
Terrafin wins.
Got you on the ropes.
Looks like a boxer.
Uh-oh. Incoming Sonic fanboy rage!
Jesus Christ.
Sonic.
Bring me your comments of anger. They nourish me.
What do you mean you don't agree with me? Do you know who you're dealing with?
It's Obama.
Just stop. Just stop it. Stop. No. Just stop it.
Well, you know what Terrafin has to say to that?
Check it out. This is my sarcastic face.
Okay, now before we start discussing this episode, there are a couple other things I need to talk about first. For starters, let's talk about fan bases. Now, as most of us know, the Sonic fanbase can be pretty darn toxic. In fact, the Sonic fanbase is very well known for being one of the most toxic fanbases on the internet. But I'm sure you already knew that, especially with all those clips I just showed you, along with all the cringy Sonic fan art. So you can expect there to be a lot of rage in the comment section below this video since Knuckles lost. Now, on the other hand, theoretically, if Terrafin lost, then there would be a lot less rage in the comments because the Skylanders fanbase is a lot more tame, more mature, and less toxic than the Sonic fanbase.
You want toxic.
In fact, I think it's safe to
The
say that
Cokia's
believe it or not,
fanbase
the
is
Skylanders
cancer.
fanbase is actually one of the least toxic fan bases on the internet, which is one of the reasons why I'm proud to be a Skylanders fan. In fact, I've looked into quite a few different fan bases, both toxic and non-toxic, so I think I know what I'm talking about. Now, I'm not saying that the Skylanders fan base is 100% non-toxic,
I'm a Sonic fan and I'm alright with this.
All fan bases, even the least toxic ones, have at least 1% toxicity hidden somewhere on the internet, even if it's hard to find. But then again, why would you go looking for it? Anyway, like I was saying before, so while the Sonic fan base
I'm alright. I'm alright with the Knuckles losing. I love Sonic, but
is one of the least toxic. So therefore, if Terrafin lost this battle, then there would be little to no butthurt rage at all due to the very low toxicity level of the Skylanders fanbase. However, because Knuckles is the one who lost this fight, there's a good chance that this comment section is going to get so toxic that you're probably going to need to wear a hazmat suit while reading it. Okay, now that I've finally done talking about fanbase toxicity, let's talk about more important things, shall we? Now, this battle was a one-on-one battle with no prep time and no outside sources. And like I said earlier in the video, I am not using any feeds from the Archie comics nor Sonic Boom, for 3 good reasons. 1. Sonic Boom and the Archie comics are both non-canon sources. 2. The version of Knuckles from Sonic Boom doesn't really portray the true character of Knuckles very well, and it contradicts his character. Besides, he is technically a completely different incarnation anyway. And 3. If I was using Archie Knuckles for this battle, then this would have been a complete stomp in Knuckles' favor, because Knuckles had once became a virtually unstoppable god in the Archie comics, one that could casually destroy multiple universes at once. Or so I've heard at least. Either way, let's just say there are good reasons to avoid using these non-canon sources for this battle. Okay, I'm glad I got that off my chest. Now, it's time to finally discuss how and why Terrafin wins this epic hard-hitting showdown.
Quick question.
Now,
Where's the
a
junk?
simple explanation. Terrafin is a shark, and Knuckles is an echidna. I think we all know how the natural order of predator and prey works, right?
Yeah, Zootopia told us about that.
Nothing to do with that. Now enough fooling around. Let's get serious, shall we?
Looks like an head junk.
Let's discuss who is more skilled and experienced.
Okay.
Skylanders fights, I think you already know that the Skylanders have been around for over 10,000 years. I know hearing myself repeat that in every single episode is getting repetitive and annoying, but sometimes
they've been around even during the Greek times? I'm joking.
Unfortunately. Now, usually this would be the part where I then discuss who is more skilled, but I actually like to discuss that later in the video.
Terrafin was obviously a Wolverine fan.
And you're half right. Knuckles does have faster travel speed, but travel speed isn't nearly as important as combat speed. When it comes to combat speed, Knuckles and Terrafin should be much more evenly matched when it comes to fighting in close combat. Now let's discuss durability. Now Knuckles does have very good durability, as he's durable enough to withstand beatings from Rouge the Bat and Mel, and he survived electrocution and a bomb exploding right in front of him at the beginning of Sonic and Knuckles. And he can even withstand attacks from Sonic, who outmuscled Dr. Eggman's 550-ton E18 robot. No doubt that's very impressive. Now as for Terrafin, his armor and durability is one of the highest of all Skylanders. In fact, he's durable enough to casually tank multiple explosions, massive falls, volcanic eruptions, etc. He can tank getting crushed and or pummeled by colossal Archean robot warriors and the Titans. He can survive attacks from Malefor, who I will talk more about later, including how strong and powerful he is. And he can even survive powerful attacks from the likes of Traptanium Chaos, the Darkness, and Super Chaos. If Terrafin is durable enough to survive all of that, then I think it's safe to say that he can take pretty much anything Knuckles has to throw at him. Now to make sure I'm not bluffing or just plain incorrect, it's time to discuss the category we've all been waiting for. Let's discuss strength. Now most of you are probably thinking that Knuckles has a clear major strength advantage over Terrafin,
I was gonna say.
believe it or not, this category is actually a lot closer than it looks. Let's start off with Knuckles. Now this one was quite tricky because it is actually really hard to pinpoint or determine exactly how strong Knuckles truly is. Not just because of inconsistencies, but mainly because so many people are constantly contradicting Knuckles' strength in more ways than one. For instance,
Sonic's speed.
Or downplay Knuckles by saying he can only bench press up to 100 tons and no more, even though Knuckles has proven that he is much stronger than that. But on the flip side, there are also some people who overestimate or even wank Knuckles by saying things like he can casually one-shot universes
I see what you did there.
multiversal attacks without a scratch, which is just insanely absurd.
That was funny. Okay, I saw the comments.
But I've already explained why I'm not using Archie Knuckles for this debate. Anyway, with all these contradictions, it makes it really hard to get a clear or solid answer. So, in order to find out how strong Knuckles really is, I decided to team up with a few Sonic fans who know Knuckles much better than I do, and together we started searching through the Sonic games and Sonic X series to try and find Knuckles' most notable feats for this debate. And while researching, we found out that one of Knuckles' greatest feats of physical strength was the time he punched the moon. Knuckles punched the moon so hard he created a massive explosion visible from Earth. After doing some calculations, this explosion has been estimated to be the size of an island. If Knuckles can punch the moon
Yeah, but how big island?
create an island-sized explosion, I think it's safe to say that this definitely puts Knuckles' physical strength at island level, which is definitely
What do you mean, like
a very
Britain Island?
impressive amount of
Britain
strength.
Island
Now,
or White
now that
Island
we know
or
how
what?
strong Knuckles is, from what we know, it's time to find out how strong Terrafin is. Now before we start
Terrafin's
maximum strength, let's take a look at his minimum strength first. Now as you can tell from this little calculation, Terrafin actually has literally twice as much striking power as Spyro the Dragon. And from this estimation, Terrafin can strike with over 48,000 tons of force, which roughly puts his minimum strength at about
that
half
shark's
level.
more powerful
Now,
than
like I said,
Spyro?
this is just the bare minimum of Terrafin's strength. Now what exactly is Terrafin's maximum level of strength, you may ask? Well, let's find out. Now, some of us may or may not know, Terrafin is a member of Eon's Elite, who are the strongest and most powerful of all Skylanders. In fact, it has been stated that the members of Eon's Elite are at least 3 times stronger than every other class of Skylanders there is, including the Giants. So, in order to find out how strong Terrafin is, let's take a look at the Giant's strength first. Okay, so as most of us know, the Giants are known for being able to do heavy-duty lifting things that regular Skylanders can't do.
Okay.
In fact, the Giants are strong enough to lift and pull whole entire islands towards them. Don't believe me? Then just ask Pop Fizz.
I once heard that they are so strong they can move islands. They're just like, hey, look at that island. I'm gonna pull it closer because, you know, I'm a giant, no biggie.
Now, believe it or not, this is not the only feat that proves that the Giants have island-level strength. While reading some of the official Skylanders comic books, I've actually discovered a legitimate island-level feat for the Giants. Not only are they strong enough to lift islands, but
Are those guys the equivalencies of Titans or what?
Now, believe it or not, this isn't even their most impressive feat of physical strength. In the Skylanders comic issue, Return of the Dragon King, where Malifor returns, the Giants have been shown to be strong enough to pin down Malifor. Now, how is this more impressive than destroying an island, you may ask? Well, because, believe it or not, in the Legend of Spyro series, Malifor's level of strength and power has been estimated to be at least large planet level, if not multi-planet level. And in Return of the Dragon King, an undead sorceress named Hex, who has had a bad encounter with Malifor in the past, has stated that Malifor has become even stronger and more powerful than he was back when she first faced him, and back when Spyro and Cinder faced him in Dawn of the Dragon. Now, if the Giants were strong enough to pin down a being that strong and powerful, then that's really saying something. Now, it is true that the Giants couldn't pin him down forever, and Malifor did eventually break free of their hold, but still, even being able to temporarily pin down a being that strong is still a very impressive feat, and it would definitely require a lot more than just island-level strength. Now, because the exact pinpointed limit of the Giant's full potential scaled from this feat is unclear, let's just keep things simple and lowball this all the way down to multi-island level. And that's really lowballing
Multi-island level.
That Malifor has at least large planet-level strength and power once again. Now, because Terrafin is a member of Eon's Elite, and therefore at least 3 times stronger than the Giants, I think it's fair to say that we can estimate Terrafin's strength to be at roughly multi-island level. Now, let's compare the two, shall we? Now, as you can see, if we only compare these two at their exact minimum strength, then Terrafin would have
okay,
a
fair enough.
over Knuckles. But if we compare these two at their best known estimate of strength, then it would be a lot closer. But surprisingly, Terrafin would still have an edge when it comes to physical strength. Believe me, I was as shocked as you were when I first found out.
Sure.
Now that we know how strong these two are, let's see if they have the skills to match their strength. Or in other words, let's discuss fighting skills. Now, as most of us may know, Knuckles has been trained in the ancient arts created by his people. This ancient art is mainly, and I quote, punch the crap out of everything. So basically, Knuckles is a straight-up heavy hitter who prefers strength over speed, offense over defense, and brawn over brain. Now, while this primitive style of fighting does usually help Knuckles in most situations he faces, sadly, he can't solve all his problems with just punching alone. Not only that, but Knuckles hardly ever strategizes and usually just prefers to rush into battle fist first without even thinking. So while Knuckles isn't exactly
sounds like a Antifa.
very skilled and capable fighter regardless. Now, how skilled is Terrafin, you may ask? Well, if you've read Terrafin's backstory, you'll know that Terrafin was once the greatest heavyweight boxing champion in all of Skylanders.
I thought so. I thought he looked like a boxer.
So obviously, he is very skilled in hand-to-hand combat. Now, I'll talk more about Terrafin's boxing style later, but right now, let's take a look at things from a more tactical approach. Now, it is true that Terrafin usually thinks with his fists, and sometimes his teeth, but that doesn't mean that Terrafin is all brawn and no brain. Believe it or not, while Terrafin is usually a heavy hitter, there are times where Terrafin has actually proven to be very strategic and surprisingly clever. For example, in the story, Terrafin battles the Boom Brothers. Terrafin pretended to surrender to the Boom Brothers, and then he tricked them into arguing with each other until one of the brothers forces a grenade down the other's throat, causing them both to explode. If that's not a well-thought-out plan in strategy, then I don't know what is. And that's not the only example of how surprisingly clever and strategic Terrafin can be at times. Now, while it is true that Terrafin can often be quite stubborn at times, on the bright side, he's still fairly precautionary, can sense danger from over a mile away, an excellent team player, and while he assisted during the big fight against Malifor, he said, and I quote, "There's gotta be a weak spot somewhere," which means that instead of just rushing in and blindly throwing punches, Terrafin was actually observing Malifaux while fighting, searching for a weak spot so he knows exactly where to strike where his enemy is most vulnerable, which I think is safe to say is the exact opposite of what Knuckles usually does while fighting. So while Terrafin is mainly a close-up heavy hitter just like Knuckles, but at the same time Terrafin is still a much better strategist and tactical fighter than Knuckles. Okay, now that we know who has better strategy and battle tactics, it's time to find out who is a better or more skilled fighter in general. Okay, now since Terrafin is a professional boxer, and a battle like this would most likely be a mainly hand-to-hand combat fight, right now let's just pretend
I
that
wonder how
this
he
is a
would do
boxing
against
match.
Mike Tyson.
Okay, now you're probably thinking that Knuckles isn't a boxer like Terrafin. Well, actually, Knuckles has been seen boxing before, believe it or not. Now, in order to find out who truly is the superior hand-to-hand combat fighter, I'm probably gonna get some hate for doing this,
Go on.
but for this battle, I'm gonna be using the rock, paper, scissors, triangle theory of boxing. I'll deal with all the hate in the comments later. Anyway, let's start off with Knuckles. Now, to be honest, Knuckles' style of boxing is actually kind of a no-brainer.
I'm alright with
because
this.
Knuckles often sacrifices strategy, defense, and mobility, and is heavily reliant on his raw strength and brute force. I think we can all agree that this definitely makes Knuckles a slugger when it comes to boxing.
Huh.
In fact, Rouge the Bat actually once called Knuckles a slugger.
This area's off limits, Slugger.
Okay, now I know she was just trying to insult him, but technically what she said was actually very accurate, because the definition of a slugger is somebody who throws hard punches and consistently hits for power, and the descriptive definition of the slugger-style boxer fits Knuckles' fighting style almost perfectly. Okay, now that we know what Knuckles' fighting style is, it's time to find out exactly what Terrafin's style of boxing is. Now, to be honest, this one was actually a lot more tricky. For starters, it was never directly stated or implied exactly which boxing style Terrafin uses. So, in order to find out, let us analyze Terrafin's story, traits, and personality, shall we? Okay, so clearly, Terrafin is a hardcore fighter and has a personality to match. One that kind of resembles Mr. T, sorta. Anyway, Terrafin
You mean Clubber Lang?
he is both a fighter and a lover, and if he gets knocked down, he just gets back up and keeps coming back for more. Now, according to Terrafin's story, the first line states that Terrafin prefers close-quarter combat, so therefore he's definitely not an outboxer.
You know what? I think Canadian YouTubers should take over for Screw Attack's channels. Instead of saying that, okay, so it's going to be me and so-and-so is going to be researching this, he just asks other people.
Where he would punch, dive underground, and surface for the finishing blow. So if Knuckles tries to burrow underground and surprise attack Terrafin from below, it's not gonna work, and he'd just be giving Terrafin an advantage, considering that Terrafin is an Earth Shark, and he's literally been swimming through solid Earth his whole life. Not just Earth, but he can also burrow through solid stone, concrete, and metal, including special metal made by the Archeans.
What?
Eat your heart out, Ripster. And unlike Knuckles,
Jesus
Terrafin doesn't
Christ,
use special sugar
I remember
for that.
the street sharks,
Now,
but
I would
damn,
prefer
those things are
Terrafin's
huge.
sentient mini sharks or his homing rocket launcher that summons a giant shark from underground. But if I do, then I'd just be getting even more off topic than I already am right now. Okay, now that I'm done getting off topic, like I said before, it was really not easy to try and categorize Terrafin's style of boxing, but I think it's safe to say that Terrafin's style does not fully match any of these three styles seen here, because Terrafin's style of boxing actually belongs somewhere in the middle. After doing a close-up analysis, I've come to a conclusion that the main style of boxing that fits Terrafin the best would be Boxer Puncher. The Boxer Puncher style possesses many similar qualities of the Slugger, Swarmer, and Outboxer all in one. The Boxer Puncher
I never
possesses
knew that.
power while having much better defense and accuracy than the Slugger.
Yeah, where was you on this Screw Attack?
Aggressive Swarmer-like style opposed to an Outboxer, and they often do very well against Outboxers and more. So overall, while Knuckles' fighting style mainly relies on raw strength and power alone, on the other hand, Terrafin's style relies on power, defense, accuracy, and fighting strategy all at once. I think it's safe to say that with all that in mind,
I forgot that Canadian YouTubers are very good with his research.
This is not the only time a slugger has lost to a boxer puncher. Allow me to give a comparable
I freaking love this guy.
When famous boxer puncher Marvin Hagler fought against famous slugger John Mugabe, Hagler won that fight against Mugabe. Now both boxers had very similar striking power, but Hagler had much better defense, maneuverability, strategy and battle tactics, and more, which eventually led to his victory. Thank God I finally finished covering that. Okay, now that we know who is a more skilled and tactical fighter, the very last category I'd like to discuss is feats. Now, as most of us
Feats.
know, both characters
they both
have
got feet.
achieved many impressive feats, such as taking on foes that are much larger or even more powerful than themselves. For example, Knuckles has fought against the likes of Dr. Eggman, Super Mecha Sonic, and even the Metal Overlord. Now, being able to
Metal Overlord
is very impressive, no doubt. However, Terrafin, on the other hand, has faced much tougher and more powerful foes, such as Malefor, the Doom Raiders, Traptanium Chaos, and even godlike beings like the Darkness and Super Chaos. If you've watched my previous videos, I believe I've told you about most of them, haven't I? Now, don't get the wrong idea. I am not stating that Terrafin is as strong or powerful as these godlike beings. However, Eon's elite Skylanders like Terrafin are not only the strongest and most powerful of all Skylanders, but they are also the most used to fighting opponents that are even stronger and more powerful than themselves. Not just the Skylanders, but there are actually quite a few different video game characters who have defeated foes much stronger than themselves. For example, Bowser is technically a lot stronger than Mario, and yet Mario has kicked his shells way more times than we can count. And that's just one example. Anyway, while Terrafin may not be as strong or powerful as these godlike beings I mentioned earlier, he is certainly able to hold his own against them, and is even capable of damaging them. So it's possible that Terrafin might actually be a whole lot stronger than the multi-island level strength I mentioned earlier. But just to be safe, let's just stick with the best known estimate I mentioned earlier. Now, while being able to take on powerful foes like these are definitely feats worth noting, sadly, the only downsides to these feats is that most of the feats for both characters required outside help or teamwork. Now, while Knuckles has been able to achieve quite a few solo feats, most of his feats required help from friends like Sonic and Tails. For example, when Knuckles faced the Metal Overlord, it took a team effort of Super Sonic, Knuckles, and Tails combined to take down the Metal Overlord. So clearly, Knuckles couldn't have achieved that feat on his own without help from Sonic and Tails. Now, on the other hand, the exact same argument can be made for Terrafin, because Terrafin is definitely a team player, and most of the time the Skylanders are always working together to take down even the toughest baddies. Now, there are some times where
Hey,
some
look,
Skylanders have
what's
teams,
Gom doing in this?
but most of the time they work as a team. Now, even though Knuckles and Terrafin are both more used to working as a team, they're both still perfectly capable of fighting on their own. But regardless of teamwork, Terrafin has still faced greater threats and more powerful foes than Knuckles has. Now, there are some Sonic characters who have faced those kinds of great threats before, such as when Super Sonic, Shadow, and Silver fought against the Universal Solaris. But sadly, Knuckles wasn't one of them. I think I've said enough for this category. So overall, Knuckles is definitely not an easy opponent to take down, and he will most likely give Terrafin a really good run for his money. But with Terrafin having literally thousands of years more experience, being physically stronger and more durable, being a much better and more tactical battle strategist, having a more efficient fighting style, and more, I think it's safe to say that Terrafin does have what it takes to get the job done. So in the end, Knuckles jumped the shark, and he'll no longer chuckle. The winner of this battle is Terrafin. Now, if you thought this battle wasn't epic or hardcore enough, let's push the limits even further, shall we? If you want to see a prep time rematch between Hyper Knuckles and Supercharged Terrafin, where Knuckles will have access to the Chaos Emeralds, Terrafin will have a supercharged vehicle called the Shark Tank, both characters will have prep time, outside sources, and even power-ups from both their games, then let me know in the comments below, and
Ooh, that'd be interesting.
What happens in the future. Oh, and P.S. I want to give a special thanks and shout out to the Orange Diamond for voicing Knuckles in this episode. If you enjoyed his impression of Knuckles, then go check out his channel and subscribe.
Orange Diamond. Fan art.
Next time on Showoff Showdown.
Showoff Showdown. Ah, there we go. Scary dairy.
Here comes a new challenger. Sir Daniel Fortescue.
Sir Daniel. Chop chop.
Got any ideas for Showoff Showdown? Then let me know in the comments below. And hopefully, I just might do them. Now stay tuned for the next episode of Showoff Showdown.
Showoff Showdown. Okay, a few things. One, you're absolutely right. He is absolutely 100% right. Because, here's the thing. fan bases can be very, very toxic. And what I said earlier about the Code Geass fan base is toxic, I do mean that. Those guys are horrible, very, very horrible. I'm not saying all of them are, but I mean, you say one wrong word about Lelouch and they go nuts, and I mean, really freaking nuts. They'll go, oh no, that's not good. I mean, here's the thing. I've never had any problems with like other fan bases. I mean, here's the thing. I mean, I've never had any problems with like, people beating like Sonic, or people. Okay, you know, like I like there was like Ichigo versus Naruto, and Ichigo lost. I mean, I wasn't buttered because Ichigo lost. I was buttered because it was the way that he was represented. For example, Ichigo's final form wasn't even the final Getsuga Tensho. It was the merged, his merged hollow form, and they got the power scaling all wrong. And then there's obviously Goku versus Superman, which by the way is still going. I mean, I want my favorite characters to win, but I don't want them to win dishonorably. I mean, this is what what fan bases should. Yeah, if you love a character, that's fine. And I mean, even if they were to lose against someone that's stronger than them, then excuse me. Then I mean, you should accept it, because I mean, it's like this. Let's just say, for example, let me think. Let's just say, for example, you had a okay. Oh, this is a tough one. How do I pronounce this? Oh, let's just say you got like Fox McCloud from Star Fox versus Supersonic. Who do you think would win? This is a humongous, giant Fox McCloud fan, and he's going up against like Supersonic. I mean, would you say that? Sonic will win this one because he's got like the Chaos Emeralds and all that stuff. But if you're like one of those whiny little fanboys, like, oh no, my Fox McCloud can easily beat Sonic. Then you know what, you guys really need to don't get. I mean, only because your favorite character loses a fight doesn't mean he's inferior to other characters. I mean, your favorite character is always going to be your favorite character. I mean, I know for a fact there's versions of Goku. I'll say it again. I know there's versions of Superman that Goku can never beat, and I accept that. And you know what? To all the Sonic fans, only because Knuckles lost against this guy, that doesn't mean he's say again. It doesn't mean he's inferior to that character. I mean, there's obviously going to be characters out there that there's no way that your favorite character can actually like win against, and I accept that, and you guys should accept that. And if there's like a new new incarnation of that character, and it's like, okay, so this new version of Knuckles as godly power. So let's do a rematch with this Knuckles and go against Terrafin. I mean that's good. And it's like I mean, there's like one version of Goku and there's like loads of versions of Superman. It's fantastic. So yeah, just want to get out there. So let's see. What about Discord versus the genie from Aladdin? I'd like to see that. That'd be awesome. So yeah, I absolutely love Canadian YouTubers research. I mean, instead of like saying like, okay, so with all the research I've done by myself, this is what I've deduced that who would win. He doesn't like do that. He actually asks fans, saying that, okay, how powerful is so and so? How powerful is so and so? And that's what Screw Attack should have done. That they should have said, okay, we're getting the Dragon Ball fan base, we're getting the Superman fan base. We're gonna have a talk about this, and go backwards and forth talking about it, and then they come to a conclusion. Okay, fine. This version can beat so and so, and you know what? This is exactly what power scalers and people who does versus channels should do. They should get like both character data from their fan bases, and do something like this. And you know what? I actually like this. I really do like it. It's fantastic. I mean, well done, Canadian YouTuber. You did the right thing. Bravo, mate. Bravo. So, that was awesome. So, you guys know what to do, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.
Thank you guys for watching, and if there's a series you want me to check out and review and give my thoughts on it, or if there's a top 10 list you want me to do, or any reactions, or responses, or rants on anything geeky, just leave links and comments in the comment sections below, and I'll get to them as soon as I can. And if you guys want to follow me on my social medias, I'm on minds.com, Twitch, Dailymotion, and Hatron, Reddit, BitChute, aka the new YouTube, DeviantArt, Discord, VidMe, Gab, Twitter, Tumblr, Patreon, GoFundMe, PayPal, and my other social medias are down there in the description box below, so if you want to go and check them out, please do. And don't forget to subscribe and share this video. And please go and check out my new skeptic channel, Gypsy Freak. It's also down there in the description box below. Peace out.